25, don't be afraid of fat. That's the message from fitness expert Leanne Ellington this morning. And thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me in.
And I know that you help us get fit every weekend. And this morning we're going to sort out the fact from fiction with fat.
Of course, yeah. You know, we got to get food in play every once in a while on the segments. And basically, you know, if you think back to the late 80s, early 90s, the world became fat phobic, especially America. So if you remember the grocery store shelves, there were things like SnackWell cookies where everything was fat-free, and our country went through that fat-free phase. Well,
it seems like it worked. You know, it seems like, okay, cut back on the fat, and then,
yeah,
you know.
It seemed like a good theory.
It did.
In theory, but, you know, in actuality, what they did is they took out the fat and they replaced it with simple sugars and excess calories. You know, it still had the calories in it. So if you're anything like me, you're like, great, it's a fat-free food. I can eat as much as I want of it. A box of SnackWell cookies goes by, and you wonder why, A, you haven't only not lost weight, but you've gained it. And America kept getting fatter. So until we figured out that it wasn't the fat that was the issue, it was actually the excess calories, the carbohydrates, and the sugars that were the issue. So, you know, in actuality, for every gram of protein or carbohydrates that you eat, there's only about 4 calories per gram. Fat has about 9 calories per gram. So that's why fat fills you up. It satiates you. So if you have something with just, you know, proteins and carbs versus something that has fats in it, you're going to stay fuller longer. It's going to keep you from overeating down the road in the day.
And Leanne, too, when we're watching, you know, our nutrition labels, there's good fats and bad fats
exactly.
too, to watch out for.
And you know, saturated fat has its place too, but you do want to limit it. The healthy fats that you're looking for are going to be found in nuts, in healthy oils, olive oil, grapeseed oil, flaxseed oil, avocados, stuff like that. And they are essential to your diet. You want to get them in. They help, you know, with, you know, heart healthy, keeping your organs functioning properly. Actually, studies have shown that it helps with brain function as well.
You need it.
Absolutely.
You need it, those omega-3s. But those labels that say 0 trans fat, now those are sneaky.
Yes. They are. The trans fats are the ones that are going to get you. You do want to avoid them at all costs. And lately, you know, they've been pretty good about keeping them from the foods that we see in the grocery store. But then
the other thing is that it misleads the consumer, because you see 0 trans fat and you're thinking, well, hey, no fat. But a lot of times there's still fat in there.
Exactly. And the thing we want to remember is, you know, not to be afraid of it, because the fat's a good thing. You need dietary fat. There's a difference between fat that you consume and then the body fat. And fat doesn't make you fat. Excess calories make you fat. So you're right. You want to look out for the trans fats because they don't do great things for our bodies. But in terms of keeping fat in your diet, you want to make sure you're getting a healthy balance in there. It's just as important to get fat as it is to get carbs and proteins, and, you know, keeping everything in balance.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Leanne, for the truth from fiction with fat this morning. And, of course, we'll be getting fit with you a little bit later on.
Absolutely.
And let's check in now with Julie for a look at the forecast.